It has been a very exciting time in the world of mid-size pickup trucks. Last year, we got redesigned versions of the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon, and this year, we're getting brand new versions of the Ford Ranger and the Toyota Tacoma. Now, when we were trying to figure out what to put this Tacoma up against, that means we had a pretty long list of competitors to choose from, but the more that we thought about it, the Tacoma's biggest competition might just be itself. That's because the Tacoma is a sales juggernaut. In the past couple of years, Toyota has sold more Tacomas than Colorados, Rangers, Canyons, and even the Nissan Frontier combined. But even considering that, I've always been a bit confused by the Tacoma's success, because when I look at the old Tacoma, even though we're close to Thanksgiving, I think of it more like Festivus, because I've got a list of grievances and it needs to hear about them. Yes, I used the word grievances, and yes, I meant it, because we've got a lot of problems with the old Tacoma. First and foremost, a pair of anemic powertrains that definitely need fixing in the new generation, and on top of that, we've also got a driving position that's in no way comfortable, in-cabin technology that feels like it's from the flip phone era, and a back seat that is short on both room and features. So, that's what we are here to find out today. Can this new Tacoma fix the sins of the old one? And if it does, there's probably no telling how many of these things Toyota is going to sell. Is it even possible that every midsize truck sold will end up being a Tacoma? Today we have a TRD Sport version of the new Tacoma to put up against the TRD Sport of the old one. And if you want information about the new Tacoma, head over to Edmunds.com or check out our first look video to see a more comprehensive view of the changes to the 24 Tacoma. So the old Tacoma offered a base 4-cylinder engine and a V6 with decent power numbers, but both of them came mated to an ancient feeling 6-speed transmission, and both powertrains really felt sort of underwhelming. The 4-cylinder, not enough power, and the V6, because tied to that transmission, it would hunt for gears often. To get on the highway, you would have to kind of put it in the sport mode or hit the power button if you didn't want it to feel like you were crawling up to highway speeds. Here in the 24 Tacoma, it's all turbo all the time. So the base engine is now a turbocharged 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. That comes with a couple of different outputs. The one that we're driving today is the more powerful of those two. It actually makes the same exact horsepower as the V6 in the last gen Tacoma, but it makes a lot more torque, and it comes mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This combination is one that we really like a lot. The powertrain feels a lot punchier. It feels like it's much easier to access the engine's power. How it's going to work out while we're towing, we don't really know yet. That's a test we'll probably have to do a little bit later on, but for day-to-day driving and on the street, this powertrain just feels a lot more responsive, and it feels better tied to what you wanted to do. I was able to get on the highway. I didn't have to hit that power button, and I just kind of cruised on up there. If there are drawbacks to this engine, it's kind of loud. So it's, you know, that turbo 4-cylinder noise, not really pleasant, kind of, but if the trade-off is that you get better performance and it works better day to day, that's one that I would make. Another thing that's better about the new Tacoma, also the ride quality has gone way up. So most of the Tacoma variants are going to get, instead of leaf springs in the back, you're going to get a multi-link coil suspension, and that really improves the ride here on the street. The old Tacoma felt a bit floaty at the back. It almost felt like the bed was disconnected from the rest of the truck a little bit. But here on city streets and on the highway, it rides significantly better, and the steering also feels just more dialed in. This is just a better truck to drive overall, and yeah, those big changes under the hood, to the suspension, and to the frame itself have paid dividends. The only thing that you don't really gain with this new powertrain is fuel economy. So even though it's smaller, it's still a Turbo 4, and this vehicle, as well as the old Tacoma they have here, both get 20 mpg combined. So the driving experience has really been fixed in the new Tacoma, but the other thing that Tacoma needs to fix that's also related to driving is the driving position. So as you can see, I'm in the driver's seat right now of the old Tacoma, and one, the seat is not set up in a great place. You do kind of feel like you're a bit in like a lawn chair or a beach chair. It's very laid back. But the other bigger problem is this. If I actually set this seat to where it's comfortable for me to have my feet on the pedals, which is right about here, as you can see, I can't really reach the wheel. It's kind of at a funny angle, and you end up having to drive the car down here. Now, this wouldn't be as much of an issue if there was a lot of adjustment here, but as you can see, the wheel only telescopes about 1 inch, and even if it's pulled all the way back towards me, I still can't reach over the wheel comfortably. I end up having to lean forward, or doing what most people do when you drive a Tacoma, putting your hands in your lap. Here in the new Tacoma, things are very much improved. So we actually don't have the power adjustments, so I'm gonna have to do all this by hand, but if I put the seat here where my legs are comfortable, right about there, put the lean in a good spot, As you can see, the steering wheel, and I measured this, actually has more than double of the telescoping travel of the last Tacoma. So because of that, I'm able to put the steering wheel here in a good position. And as you can see, as I sit, my hands can actually reach the top of the wheel and the bottom of the wheel, so I can drive like a human being again. So that makes it 2 for 2 so far for the new Tacoma. But for the third grievance, we're going to talk about the interior. Now, as you can see, things have really changed up front here. This rides on the TNGA-F platform, same one as the Tundra, just smaller. And you can also see the Tundra influence here on the interior as well, from this design to the big screen. This is kind of like a baby Tundra in a few different ways, and this interior is definitely one of them. The big changes, of course, you can see right here, the centerpiece of the dashboard. This is the larger optional 14-inch screen for the 24 Tacoma. The base screen is 8 inches, and that actually matches the size of the larger screen of the previous Tacoma. Now, previous Tacoma ran on Toyota's old multimedia system, looked very pixelated, very old, feels dated. This thing, though, very fresh and very new. We like this system a lot. We feel that it has a lot more functionality and much more simple in sort of its menu structure. As you can see, just with one press here, you can get to most of the things that you need to. And it makes a really cool centerpiece for this vehicle. Now, behind the steering wheel as well, we have another screen. This is a 12.3-inch display. So we're talking 26 inches of displays here in the new Tacoma. And just from a technology standpoint and even from a look standpoint, I think that this interior has really taken big leaps forward. Tied into technology, the safety features on the Tacoma have also really improved. It comes with TSSS 3.0, which means it has better adaptive cruise control, better lane keeping, just all around sort of a better suite of overall safety features than the last gen Tacoma as well. So far, the new Tacoma is batting 1,000. It's gone 3 for 3 in addressing my grievances so far, which brings us to the final one, which is the back seat. Now, back seat is an apt name for this area because basically all you're gonna get back here is a seat, and it's located in the back. So there's no air vents, there's no charge ports. It's basically just a place for you to sit. Now, I set up this seat here where I like to drive. I'm just under 6 feet tall. And we talked about that problem before with the seating position. And as you can see, this is another way that it sort of manifests, in that I kind of had to lean the seat back to get to a comfortable position for driving. And that means that my knees really have nowhere to go. Headroom is actually pretty good. And this is a fair time to mention that all the midsize trucks sort of struggle in the back seat, with the exception of the Honda Ridgeline, because, you know, that's basically a Honda Pilot. So it has an SUV size second row. But none of the midsize trucks really have really comfortable accommodations back here. But the Tacoma, again, really bad because there's basically no features back here and not a ton of room. Something that the new Tacoma should look to improve. So let's see if the new Tacoma is any better. I set this seat up where I like to drive, and I'm gonna hop in back here and well, there are still no rear air vents. There's still not much room. I got USB-C charging at least though, but I would say overall, they didn't really fix the back seat. So the new Tacoma has pretty much fully fixed 3 out of the 4 grievances that we had about the old one, which is pretty good. And the last one, it's a little bit better, but not completely fixed, so we'll give it partial credit. So that gives the new Tacoma a pretty comprehensive victory over the old one, as you might expect. The next question then naturally is, how much is this going to cost me? And while Toyota hasn't yet released final options pricing for the new Tacoma, we do know the base prices of each trim level, and in most cases, it's gone up by about $3,000. That means that for this vehicle, a double cab TRD Sport with 4x4, a 5-foot bed, and the automatic transmission, it'll start at $42,600. While this might feel like a pretty big price increase, we think that the improvements to the new Tacoma definitely make it worth it. That makes us even more excited to put it up against the rest of that redesigned midsize competition, like the forthcoming Ford Ranger and like the Chevrolet Colorado, which, guess what? We bought one.
That right there is a 2023 Chevy Colorado Z71.
You know how we're like supposed to dress the part for the videos?
Yeah.
I caught a look at myself in the mirror when I was doing a 10-1, and I realized I looked like an extra on the show Billions more than a truck guy, and I was very sad.
Yeah, at least you're a billionaire.
No. Extra. Like an AI extra.
At least you have $1,000.
Not even paid.